Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Victoria Total de Hare Krishna. Total victory of Hare Krishna. My name is Danna Devi, and today you are going to do Bhagavad-gītā 6:17. Okay, this is my first time by myself, and I've been bullied by my daughter.
Hey, it's your night for classes. See if anybody just does it with you all the time.
Okay, sure. So, yeah, let's start.
Remember the training.
I've been trained like a little dog. Anyway, so let's start with the Sanskrit. Yuktāhāra-vihārasya, yukta-ceṣṭasya karmasu, yukta-svapnāvabodhasya, yogo bhavati, duḥkha-hā. All right, let's scroll down. Translation. He who is temperate in his habits of eating, sleeping, working, and recreation can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. That's interesting translation. Okay, let's go to the purport. Extravagance in the matter of eating, sleeping, defending, and mating, which are demands of the body, can block advancement in the practice of yoga. As far as eating is concerned, it can be regulated only when one is practiced to take and accept prasādam, sanctified food. Lord Kṛṣṇa is offered, according to Bhagavad-gītā 9:26, vegetables, flowers, fruits, grains, milk, etc. In this way, a person in Kṛṣṇa consciousness becomes automatically trained not to accept food, not meat, for human consumption, or which is not in the category of goodness. As far as sleeping is concerned, a Kṛṣṇa conscious person is always alert in the discharge of his duties in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, and therefore any unnecessary time spent sleeping is considered a great loss. A Kṛṣṇa conscious person cannot bear past a minute of his life without being engaged in the service of the Lord. Therefore, his sleeping is kept to a minimum. His ideal in this respect is Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī, who has always engaged in the service of Kṛṣṇa and who could not sleep more than 2 hours a day, and sometimes not even that. Ṭhākura Haridāsa would not even accept prasādam, not even sleep for a moment without finishing his daily routines of chanting with his beads 300,000 names. Wow. As far as work is concerned, a Kṛṣṇa conscious person does not do anything which is not connected with Kṛṣṇa's interests, and thus his work is always regulated and is untainted by sense gratifications. Since there is no question of sense gratification, there is no material leisure for a person in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, and because he is regulated in all his work, speech, sleep, wakefulness, and all other bodily activities, there is no material misery for him. Wow, that's interesting. Anyway, so what do we do next? So I guess we can go to the all edition and also to the original of what Śrīla Prabhupada typed. And then we can come back to this chapter or text and see what we can get from our own experience and our real life and see ourselves through this text. Okay, so what is this about? No. Sorry about the whole quick changes. Oh, let's go to the few changes that they have done. So let's concentrate in the old first version and the second edition and indefinite changes. Okay, so let's go to the translation. He who is temperate in his habits of eating, sleeping, working, and recreation can mitigate all material pains by practicing yoga. Temperate was regulated. And work. Few changes here. I think I can understand clearly what it means by, in the first edition. And in the second one, few things that has changed. Anyways, people like to change a lot. Oh, this is a bit painful for my eyes. Too many interesting words. So Lord Krishna is offered according to the Bhagavad-gītā 26. I think it's the same thing. Food not for meat, for human consumption, which is not in the category of goodness as far as sleeping is concerned. It's not in the category of goodness as far as sleeping is concerned. No, it's not in the category. Or which is not in the category of goodness. Well, yeah, it kind of makes sense how the second edition does it, a little bit more like a posh way to say it, I guess. Kṛṣṇa. Aryartha Kalavan Kṛṣṇa. I don't know what is the way to see the reason why they changed it. I think they put a new edition. I don't know where that came from, but anyways, not sure if it was something that Śrīla Prabhupada wrote, but let's look back to his typing. Other than that, few changes. Oh, that's the old changes. They got it. Let's go back to Śrīla Prabhupada. I think it's not that one. It's this one. Okay. Yuktāhāra-vihārasya. Translation. Persons who are regulated in their habits of, I guess, eating, sleeping, and recreation, as well as in working for existence, can mitigate all material pains by practice. Is that the same? Let me see. Who are regulated? Oh, yeah. So in the first edition, basically was temperate. And what Śrīla Prabhupada did with his work or typing is actually says regulated. Okay? Then I will keep it the way he wrote. So let's go to the part. I don't think it was Śrīla Prabhupada's typing exactly. This. I think it was something that he voice recorded, and this has been typed by somebody else. Oh, yeah. Okay, now I understand. His program is at Avyartha Kalavam, a Krishna conscious person. So they removed that in the first edition, and now they put it back, which is great. Just keep it as the way Śrīla Prabhupada said it. Just do it as it is. The reason why the Gita is, the title is Bhagavad-gītā As It is because it is as it is. So there is no additions or extractions. It should be kept the way it is. Keep the integrity of the book. Okay, a few changes here. Chanting with his beads, 300,000 names. Oh, rounds. Okay. It will be, I don't know how long it will take to chant 300,000 rounds. Wow. Okay. I don't think there are many scribbles here. Let's go to the okay, let's go back here. So if we apply in this verse and seeing our lives through this verse in my personal life, speaks a lot about how I would like to, I've been leading my life. I'm not perfect at it. For example, habits, the habits of sleeping, working, and recreation. What examples can I use for my daily life? Working, not wasting time, is one of the things of that always had been inculcated by my grandmother. Never waste your time because you will never recover it. Never, ever. So do things. And in real life, I kept myself busy doing many things, whatever is needed. For example, now I'm concentrating in the garden, planting and making sure taking the weeds out, and yeah. So after work, after having my full-time job, I go back to the garden and I start doing things. And then when I come home, I'm looking always like what needs to be done. Because there is no time to waste. The more things you do now, you may have more time. If you need to rest, you have less preoccupation, less things to think about, like, worries, oh, I need to do this, oh, I forgot this. And it's always something always coming up, and you don't know what things is going to come up tomorrow. And if you leave something for tomorrow and something like an emergency comes up, so the job that you left it for tomorrow, basically it won't be done, because something more more immediate that needs to be completed, you have to do it. So it prolongs and prolongs, and then it accumulates over time, and then just we get frustrated. Sleeping. Whew. Sleeping, we would say I'm a little bit short with the sleep. But anyways, if we compare the life of Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī, 2 hours, and sometimes he didn't have that time to sleep. Like, wow. He has to be incredibly physically and mentally powerful to do that. Because many in these days in Kali Yuga, people sleeps 12 hours and sometimes more than that, and sometimes less than that, depending what kind of lifestyle they have. But sleep is basically either they are deprived of sleep because they have been wasting their time partying, or just being involved in illicit things, or in some activities of a mode of ignorance. So we're wasting time, we're depriving ourselves, our bodies of sleep, and working, recreation. So if we look through the yoga, recreation, anything that is in the service of Kṛṣṇa consciousness, I guess recreation could be doing Harinam. I love Harinam. There's nothing can beat Harinam. So it's something recreational for me because my soul is very engaged in that. I love music. I love rhythm, dancing, singing. So it's something recreational. And other things that can be recreational, probably just travel to somewhere else, through work. But anything that you do, thinking, whatever you do is in the service of Kṛṣṇa, then it's a part of recreation. We can take it as recreation, right? For example, what can we do? What can example of recreation? Work-wise, sometimes it's quite heavy and put in our minds that let's make work fun, because work can be quite stressful. You have to deal with people, so many tasks to be completed, and it becomes quite weighty for you. And if we use this possibility of like, let's make it fun, even when it's chaotic and stressful, we can create it like, let's be fun in here. I guess that can change, because our mentality is directed to what I'm doing right now is a service of Kṛṣṇa, for Kṛṣṇa. Every like the Lakshmi that I'm earning is basically to buy bhoga, offer food for Kṛṣṇa, serve your children, serve your wife in that way. And So everything is offered to Krishna. Therefore, it's a way we can create as a recreation. You see, fun. Most of the time, recreation people, other people see like holidays overseas, and go to Hawaii and just enjoy the hot area, the beaches, or go to Bali and have some time there, visiting these temples and going to the market and having like 2-hour massage by 3 or 4 people. Can be that kind of recreation. I'm not saying you cannot have that, but it's just the sense of you mean the your consciousness, you see. For example, you can have a 2-hour a massage because your body has been used for service to work hard, and physically you need this massage to release the tension and all the toxins. Therefore, it's a service. I'm looking after my body because I want to use it as a service to Krishna. So yeah, we can use it as it is, as a recreation. Fun, exciting. What else? The part here that is that it highlights is being regulated. Not too much sleep, not too little sleep, not too little food, not too much food, and not overworking yourself, not underworking, not wasting your time. So learn to be regulated, and in the habits that we create, it's basically something that will help us in every day of our life. What is the habit for me? Spending my time in the garden. That's one of the habits that I created. And also reading something about psychology, and that's one of the things that I'm getting myself into. The other thing, not wasting my time. My habit is creating something to do. Yeah. What else? If we compare the life that what it was before, in like let's say 100 years or 200 years, or the time where Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī, the life itself, the lifestyle was more pure. But compared to the Kali Yuga where we are now, it's basically people are super inundated with too many things to enjoy. TV, movies, theaters, events, concerts, TikTok movies, and drinking party, games. So there's so many things that is on the way, so human beings normally we like to be entertained, we like fun, and therefore the brain's always active, I want this, so you just follow what the mind is saying, so you spending your time in many things. Therefore we creating habits at the same time, habits of not being regulated, habits of not organizing your day, and being the habit of just drinking one glass of maybe whoever drinks, one glass of beer, or I don't know if they drink in glass or bottles, but in a week. But we go into this space of like, oh, I'm going to drink a lot and spend my time just like drinking to the point you don't have any sense of what you're doing. You just lost your perception, you're totally drunk, so you're foggy. Yeah. So and if we continuously do that, it becomes a habit. It becomes an addiction, and it's really hard to get ourselves out of addictions. Some people are more prone to addictions, and some people are, they can be quite measured. So I guess we have to be extremely careful with our choices and be more aware whether we are very prone to to addiction. Yeah. Anyways, here it says a Krishna conscious person cannot bear to pass a minute of his life without being engaged in the service of the Lord. His sleeping is kept to a minimum. Yeah, we should do that. Like, we can be doing so many things in a day rather than not doing it. His work is always regulated and attained by sense gratification. So there is no question of satisfaction. And because he is regulated in all his work, speech, sleep, wakefulness, and all other bodily activities, there is no material misery for him. Yeah, I guess that is true. That is a really good wisdom, It's a good guidance here. And it's true to say. So the more you are unregulated with your speech, if you use faulty language all the time, it will be really difficult to use like very good, polite and gentlemanly or ladylike language. Also, there is no material misery for him. And whatever you do, if you overdo things, basically we're going to have the misery. Either the body will be achy, you the hangover, you get into a lot of trouble because you just like saying things unrestrictively. So you get into trouble. So there is the misery comes afterwards, the ripple effect of that. And it's not the best place to be. And it doesn't sound too friendly either. So yeah, I guess we have to have some regulation of what we do. Doesn't matter what you do, but be regulated at it. And many people say, if you have discipline, doesn't matter how intelligent you are, but if you have discipline, you will get where you want to get. But without discipline, you don't get anywhere. And that is true. Anything else I would like to? I guess chanting the Hare Krishna, reading, doing Harinam, chanting with other people, or japa walking, that's also there's a type of practice of yoga because your mind is very engaged in thinking about Krishna, purifying your mind, purifying your way of being by chanting. And it's a good system for us. It's a good system to also be very disciplined and have a very enthusiastic life, and our life will be kind of blissful, full of blessings as well, because we are quite clear with what we want. And actually what I find is when you chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, your mind becomes very clear and also very peaceful. So whatever you do, you have some sort of like the fogginess, it gets away, and you have more clarity to do things, to think clearly, to organize your life, and where you want to get to. Anyways, let me see. Let's go to the Maori translation. Let's go to Te Reo Maori. Ka whakamahara I tana whakararuraru I roto I ngā whakapau kaha o te kai te moe, te mahi, te whakatarekareraka, ka wakaiti I naga mamae materia katoa mate whakatutuki I te huarihi yoga. Let's see what it says. Ka whakaraha itana, he who is temperate, whakararuraru I rotonaga in his habits of. Whakapauhaka te kai eating, te moe sleeping, te mahi working. Me te whakatarekāeka and recreation. Kav waka iti I nagamamai ma te riaka toa can mitigate all material pains. Ma te whakatutuki I te huarahi yoga by practicing the yoga system. Okay. He who is temperate in his habits of eating, sleeping, working, and recreation can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. All right, let's go back to this. All right, I think I cover the bare minimum. And yeah, I guess I will get used to doing this more and hopefully again by myself because I'm a little bit shy sometimes being in the public and doing things by myself. So yeah, but we can change that, right? All right then. Jai Śrīla Prabhupada, Jai Shri Krishna. I hope you have a good night and you enjoy whatever you're doing, wherever you are. And Hare Krishna.